started? Good morning, challengers. So excited to be here with you today. And we've been learning so many amazing things these past 10 days. We've been talking about managing our thoughts and emotions. And today I want to ask you some reflective questions to ask yourself about your journey so far. And I want to know who out there has perhaps had a thought or an emotion come up about the possibility that you might slide backwards on your health journey at some point so that you never actually make it to your goal. And all those habits and patterns start coming back from your past. Have any of you experienced that in the past where that's happened? Or are you worried that you might actually reach your goal and then go backwards and maybe gain all the weight back? I definitely had these worries along my journey. Now I want to ask, how important is it to you to not go back to your old ways? How open are you to learning how to make your new habits stick? How willing are you to do the work to make that happen? Did you know that there's something that you can do that will make your success 5 times more likely to happen? That's a whopping 500% more likely to reach and maintain your health goals. Do you want to know the secret? Well, this is very personal for me. I was one of those people who had tried everything starting in junior high. So many programs, so many workout videos, so many shakes, so many leg warmers, so many personal trainers. I read every article that I could find about nutrition that I came past, and I just ended up feeling so confused and so completely frustrated that things just weren't working. And so I just kept giving up all of those years. And when I turned 50 and realized that I just hit a point where I realized I just need to love myself and accept myself just the way I am. And as I did that, a door of hope opened to me when I found my Optavia coach. And I had no idea when I first talked to her that she was actually holding the key for everything that I was looking for. I was so shocked when I tried the program and it actually worked. I was down 30 pounds and reached a place that I hadn't been at for 30 years. And it surprised me how much better I felt physically. My energy and confidence were up so high. It just felt like going out to dance and play and hike with my family. And I remember about that time that I realized, oh my gosh, this finally worked. There was a wave of panic and fear that washed over me that was, I can't go back to the way that I felt before. I don't want that again. I am loving the way this feels and the things that I am able to do. So as I talked weekly with my supportive coach, she shared with me a statistic that showed that research showed that people who share and teach what they have learned, in other words, who became a coach, were 5 times more likely to reach and maintain their health goals and their goal weight. That's 500% more likely. I was like, wow. Oh my gosh, that really made me stop and think, could I do that? I didn't know if I had what it would take. I definitely didn't feel like I knew enough. I was worried what other people would say or think. But I also thought to myself, wouldn't that be cool if I could pass that key to someone else? So why do you think that is? Why do you think 500%? That's a huge percentage. I want to share with you 3 reasons why we see that to be true. Number 1, it's always said that accountability is the key. So why not add more keys? When you have friends and family joining in with you, it keeps you extra accountable. And you want to be that example for them to show them the way. And then the second reason is when we teach, we learn the most. If you look at the hierarchy of learning, this model poses that teaching information to others is the most effective way to learn it yourself, and the best way to make sure the material is stored in your long-term memory. So you've been learning this week so many amazing concepts and strategies and tools, and learning how to understand things like commitment and strategies for stop, challenge, and choose, and the drama versus empowerment triangle, fact versus story, emotional management. And I challenge you this week to test this theory and see if teach one of these concepts to someone in your circle, one of your friends or family members, and see if it's true that you actually learn as you're teaching them. And then the third reason that we see people are 500% more likely to have long-term success is that behavior is contagious. Good or bad, we become what we are surrounded with. So I want to share a story with you to illustrate this. In 2017, in Panama City Beach, Florida, 2 children got caught in an extremely powerful rip current, and they began to yell for help. And that day, there were no lifeguards on duty. So their mom and grandma went out to help them, and soon they were caught, also struggling for their lives. Then another went out to help, and another went out to help, until eventually there were 9 people who were out there caught in that rip current, destined to be swept out to sea and lose their lives that day. A rescue boat was called, but it wasn't coming fast enough, and more onlookers were gathered around, and the people who were stranded were struggling and were getting so tired they just weren't going to be able to make it. Jessica and Derek Simmons were 2 of those people who were the onlookers. And at first, when they walked up, they thought people must have seen a shark and were gathered around looking at that. But when they realized that it was people out there who were stranded in the riptide and were struggling, Jessica said to herself, "Not today. No one is going to die today while I am here." And as she went to grab her boogie boards from her car, her husband shouted out to the crowd standing around, "Don't just stand there. There's got to be some hope left for humanity in some of you. Let's form a chain." That's when the extraordinary happened. 80 strangers linked arms and formed a human chain, wading out into waters so dangerous, even law enforcement officers on the beach wouldn't go out. And those 80 people saved every single one of those 9 strangers out there in the water, and they lived. It created a national moment that defied conventional wisdom. Psychologists say that this was unusual. The usual in emergency situations is that self-preservation and not knowing what to do or assuming someone else will help prevents people from stepping in to rescue others. But what was different in that situation was 2 people were brave and spoke up, and they shared their plan and idea. It's in our human nature to conform to the behavior of those around us, whether it's good or bad behavior. And I love how this story of the Panama City Beach rescue can be comparable with our health journey. We see people all around us who are struggling in one area or another. Maybe with gaining a healthy body. The stats are 2/3 of Americans are either overweight or obese. Or we see people struggling with their healthy mind with the current world situations right now. Will we be the ones to step up and say, "Not today. None of my friends are going to suffer through years of struggling with their health while I am here"? Or, "I have a plan that worked. Join with me. Let's link arms and do this together." For me, because I started helping others with their health, I've been able to stay on a path toward optimal health for 5 years now. I'm continuing to gain emotional agility and navigate life's challenges. Boy, there's a lot. I have a community of friends that lift me up and encourage me. I'm so grateful for them. And I have a way to provide finances that contribute to my family income. I'm becoming a better wife, a better mom, a better human being. I'm becoming a person who has found a deeper purpose and a deeper meaning in my life. So I want to ask you, how about you? Have you started thinking about people in your circle who need help with their health? People who it could be life-changing for them to find answers and gain control. You've been working on loving yourself to health. are there others you could love to help as well? So I want to invite you to come explore more with us on Thursday night. It's 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, to learn more details of what it could look like for you to hear, to help others, and to hear more inspiring stories of how people's lives have been completely transformed in every way. And of course, how you can get those stats working for you to be 500% more likely to be on that long-term path of health.